A leader at the Church of Scientology has disappeared after authorities tried to serve him with a child trafficking lawsuit. Farron, you and I have done plenty of stories on this cult of crazies. That's what it is. It's not a church. It's not a religious organization. It is a cult of maniacs. And nevertheless, we give them a tax break. They don't have to pay taxes. Now, this guy that's running the entire organization is on the run. He's hiding out because of this lawsuit that's been brought by a Florida lawyer down in South Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we talked about the lawsuit really just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. You have these children, some as young as 5 and 6 years old. They get pulled into the church with their families, and I don't want to call it a church. The Scientologists put them to work scrubbing boats, cleaning hotel rooms, doing all kinds of horrible things for no pay at all, basically using them as child labor. They'll take away any documents they have so that they cannot escape. They're trapping these people. It is human trafficking, just through an organization that most people in this country somehow view as legit. It's disturbing.
Okay, so it starts in California. No surprise there, it's the hub of crazy. So it starts in California, and then Florida, second hub of crazy. It builds its second big monstrosity of an organization in Florida. But as it's doing it, you understand what they're doing as they build is you brought into Scientology, you give me everything you've got. You may not have any contact with your family. If you have an inheritance, you give it to me. A lot of the money they make is from that. The second big bit of money is they don't pay taxes on anything. Yeah. Because for some reason, it's been determined that there's somehow a religion. It is a cult of crazy. What I think is interesting, L. Ron Hubbard, who started this whole thing, started on a pretty good premise, and that is the American and international psychology has become a dirt pit, that it doesn't work. It's, we've made it into something that it's not, that it shouldn't be. So he starts attacking the area of psychology, the discipline of psychology, and he builds his entire structure around that. L. Ron Hubbard was the guy. He ends up spending his life on a boat because he's running from the law all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Sea Org.
Well, and another part of it, too, is that, we talk about how we in the U.S. give them this tax-exempt status. In most countries in Europe don't even recognize it as a religion anymore.
Exactly.
They have stripped them of any status they may have had because they understand this isn't a religion. You're not even really praying to a deity of any kind. You don't really believe in anything.
L. Ron Hubbard is their deity.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a deity, it's L. Ron Hubbard, who, by the way, was always having to run because he had so many fraud cases against him.
Yeah.
He had criminal fraud cases against him that he had to live on a boat. And he started something called Sea Org. And this whole thing is where we are. I would think that that's where we're going to find David. Yeah. David is on the run right now because he understands that these charges are big.
David, who, by the way, actually served as the best man for one of Tom Cruise's weddings, I think his second wedding, maybe.
Okay, so it's a real easy solution, and here's what I hope happens. You can yank their tax exemption. You can get judgments against them. This is exactly what we're doing with Iran in the terrorist cases. They have a lot of holdings all over the world, a lot of them in the United States. So we get judgments against them for what took place with terror groups that have killed American citizens. So we get judgments against them. We sell their property. We get possession of their bank accounts. And so there's all these things that we're able to do if somebody would show enough courage and just pull the trigger on this. And it doesn't have to be a criminal event. If this civil case turns out to be what I think it is, this is serious stuff.
Yeah, and I think people should understand how serious it is. If it wasn't serious, this guy wouldn't be on the run right now trying to evade authorities. I mean, they went to his office and security refused to let them in to just serve the lawsuit.
Yeah. 37 times.
Yeah, 37 times. So he knows he's done for.
Yeah, let's hope they get him, but more importantly, let's hope they close this cult of crazies down, because that's all it is. It's just taking advantage of people all over the world right now. Thank you for joining me, okay?
Thank you.
That's all for this week, but all of these segments are going to be available this week right here on this channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at America's Lawyer. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer. where every week we tell you the stories that corporate media won't tell you because their advertisers don't allow for it, or their political connections are just so strong, they're so tribal that they won't allow for the story to be told. We'll see you next time.